Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special video. We're going to talk about my favorite topic, and that is eyeshadow palettes. Today we're going to talk about my best of the best summer eyeshadow palettes, and I have 10 in front of me, a mix of colorful as well as bronzy warm tones, the ones that I absolutely love to wear in the summer season. And I think all of the palettes that I'm going to talk about today is like top-notch quality. I have a mix of drugstore, high-end, I have luxury, everything included in this video. So if you're ready, let's begin. So let's first start off with my favorite summer palette to talk about from an indie brand. And this is from Odin's Eye, and this is the Red Dragon palette from Judy. And this palette is truly amazing. If you love like bronzy tones, with like a twist of like colors thrown here and there. It has a beautiful pop of green and red, and rest everything is like super wearable but not basic at the same time. It has some beautiful multichromes, duochromes, as well as the mattes that are chosen in this palette are truly unique. It seems very bland in the palette, but when you apply this onto your eyes, it is spectacular. I've never like felt disappointed once I've wore this on my eyes. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna swatch a few shades out of this palette because it's truly amazing. These are the shimmers. Like, look at that. It's beautiful. And not only the shimmers, even the mattes. Let me swatch a few mattes too. Oh my God, is this gonna turn out to a swatching video? I don't know, but I definitely can swatch a few. So pretty. Like, look at that. Like, look at that. Such a gorgeous palette. If you have this palette in your collection, definitely take this out this summer. I am sure that you will re-fall in love with this. Like, I absolutely love, absolutely adore this palette, and I think Judy had done like an absolutely amazing job in creating this palette, from the artwork to the inside of the palette. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Now let's talk about eyeshadow palette which I recently got in my collection, and I have not stopped using this, especially for my everyday life. If you want like glam everyday looks, you need to try this. And this is Glam Light's Chocolate Martini palette. When I see like the eyeshadow palettes in front of me, majority of these eyeshadow palettes are from like indie brands. And that's how much I've fallen in love with indie brands. Like, so beautiful, so beautiful. Look at this color story. Truly spectacular. And there are so many things that you can do. Again, these mattes, these shimmers may look basic in the palette, but I have like done dedicated video on these palettes. So pretty they are. Like, the shimmers are unreal, like unreal. I do not even know how do they do this at this price point. It's just spectacular, like absolutely spectacular. Again, I'm gonna just like swatch a few shades. And these are like one swipe swatches. You can see that, like, so gorgeous. Look at the shine, the dimension that this palette gives. And I love that this palette goes like from light tones to extremely deep tones. Even in the shimmers, it goes extremely light to extremely dark. And the shades are so gorgeous on the eyes. It gives like sparkly dimensional effect. If you have not tried Glam Light before, do me a favor. Try one of the palettes whose color story completely speaks to you, and you'll not be disappointed. I have like 3 palettes so far from Glam Light, and not one palette has disappointed me. Even the green palette, if you guys know I'm not a green person, that palette, the Dirty Martini palette, just made me fall in love with greens. I have no words. Truly spectacular palette. If you are looking for like a neutral palette but with an elevated quality and with super dimensional tones, check this out. You'll not be disappointed. Okay, now let's talk about a colorful option for summers. If you have not tried Break the Rules palette from It's Belle Cosmetics, you are definitely missing out. You're definitely missing out, I would say. If you love duochromes, multichromes, shimmery goodness, oh my God, look no further. My palette is messy because I use it so much. Oh my God, I love it. Can you see the pan in the green shadow? That speaks a lot, guys, especially on a green shadow. Oh my God, I have a significant dent in almost all of the shades, I would say. This shadow palette is truly spectacular. I'm wearing this orange shade right in the center of my eyelid, if you can see that. So pretty, so dimensional, so spectacular. Absolutely love it. Let me just swatch a few shadows for you guys, because you need to see. You absolutely need to see. Look at that. Can you see that? I have an affiliated code with It's Belle Cosmetics. I'll link it in the description box for you guys to check it out. I think it's Smithy Sony for 10% off. Even if you do not use my code, I do not care. You need to test this palette out to see like how beautiful this is. I also have their Flare Collection Remix palette, which is also a bunch of purples and greens, and I am in love with all of the shades, but I personally felt that this is more of a summer palette for me, so I wanted to recommend this. But I would recommend any It's Belle Cosmetics palette. You would absolutely love it. Okay, now let's talk about another eyeshadow palette, which is from Alter Ego. I have like quite a bit of Alter Ego palettes in my collection, just because they dupe Natasha Denona palettes. And I knew from the very beginning that I was in love with the bronze palette from Natasha Denona, and I'm going to test out the Alter Ego version of it. I think out of the entire Alter Ego line, this is my favorite palette from them. Like, I love the color story, I love the quality, everything is absolutely spectacular. If you are a regular watcher on my channel, this would not come as a surprise for sure. If I have to keep like 10 eyeshadow palettes in my collection, this would definitely be one of them. I absolutely love the quality, love the dimension, love the tones. I love the fact that it has duochromes, it has multichromes, it has that cream to powder formula. These bronzy tones are spectacular. I've done a dedicated video using this palette. I'll leave it in the icons above or in the description box below for you guys to check it out. The quality of the palette is even sturdier. Like, it's a magnetic closure, it has a mirror on it, and this is all that you need. If you have not tried Natasha Denona's bronze palette, because of the price point, check this out, you'll not be disappointed. That's my guarantee. I absolutely am in love with this palette. Let me swatch a few shades from this Canyon palette, because I absolutely love it. And it would be definitely a crime not to swatch a few shades from this palette. Are you serious? This duochrome, rose gold shade, this matte, this bronzy shade. Look at that. And for $16, a dupe for Natasha Denona at this quality? Yes, please, yes. Sign me up any minute. Like, I would love that. Okay, now let's talk about a drugstore palette whose quality is like top-notch quality. And I am talking about these 9-pan eyeshadow palettes from LA Girl. And this is my favorite one out of the lot. This is in the shade Playmate. The shimmers are absolutely spectacular, like absolutely gorgeous. Let me swatch a few for you guys. And even the mattes for that matter, they are gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. Oh my God. What is this? Like, look at that. And how much is this? I am pretty sure it's like under $8. For these 9-pan eyeshadow palettes, I definitely would recommend the 9-pan eyeshadow palettes from LA Girl rather than any of the LA Girl eyeshadow palettes, I would say. Because I personally feel the palettes that I've tried from LA Girl, the 16-pan eyeshadow palette as well as the 9-pan eyeshadow palette is like my favorite quality eyeshadow palettes. And this is definitely top-notch chef's kiss quality. Now, if you have never tried Sigma before, and if you're looking for a summer palette from Sigma Beauty, oh my God, you need to try this Ambience palette from Sigma. This is so pretty. Again, it comes with a mirror. These tones might look boring, but this can go two places. You can go mustardy with it, you can go bronzy with it, a little more pinky tone, neutral tone. The world is your oyster, and this can go glam. When I say glam, It can go absolute glam. And definitely, if you are trying to pick out like Sigma Beauty eyeshadow palettes, wait for a sale. They have several of sales running throughout the year. They recently did have like a 30% off also. Like, do not go for less. Like, do not pay full price for Sigma Beauty eyeshadow palettes. That's what I would say. But this is spectacular. Let me swatch a few for you guys. You need to see this. So pretty it is. Are you serious? So pretty. Like, so pretty. And I personally feel once they started doing like this format of eyeshadow palettes, especially like after the Warm Neutrals 2 palette, their quality has increased to another level. And I've absolutely loved Sigma palettes. I have Warm Neutrals palette with me. I have this one. I have the Corderosa palette. I'm missing one more. I have 4 or 5 Sigma eyeshadow palettes with me, out of which Ambience Palette and Corderosa palette is my favorite by far. Like, favorite. Absolutely love them. Now let's talk about another luxury eyeshadow palette. And when I say luxury eyeshadow palette, I mean Pat McGrath. Like, this palette is beautiful, but I'm not sure if you should pay $125 for it. Definitely, again, wait for a Pat McGrath sale to happen, and then if you can grab it, I would say then it is worth. This is the Bronze Seduction palette, the Pat McGrath 5 palette. This is absolute favorite of mine. This and the Utopian Dream, I would say, like color story wise, would definitely speak out to me. I absolutely love the 4 special shades that she included here. Love the green, love that glittery golden tone. I have this red in my inner third of the eyelids today, and I just tapped on top of that It's Bell palette, and then I have this in the outer corners. Like, it's pretty. It's absolutely pretty, but you need to get this on a discount. The only 2 eyeshadows that I'm not a big fan of is like the shimmer shadows. This one and this one. This bronze one and this one, like taupey one. Rest everything is like top-notch quality, but I can like swatch it for you guys just to show you how beautiful it is. It's definitely special, but definitely grab it for a discounted price. Look at that. So pretty it is. So very pretty. But don't pay $125 for it for sure. Yeah, that's my opinion, but yeah, it is my strong opinion. Okay, now let's talk about another bronzy tone eyeshadow palette, which is like good quality eyeshadow palette, I would say. And the packaging is my favorite part. It's sleek and it is so beautiful. It's from Artist Couture and it is their Supreme Nudes palette. This is all that you need if you are a neutral bronzy person. It has some olive tones, it has some copper tones, some gold tones, some beautiful rose golds. So beautiful and so blendable. There was a point of time that I used to only use this for my office, and I loved each and every look that was created out of this palette. I absolutely loved it. Now, because I have so much more in my collection, I definitely try to like put these palettes in between here and there. I try to rotate my stash every 2 weeks, and I definitely need to get this back into my everyday drawer. So pretty, so beautiful, so dimensional. Definitely very beautiful, I would say. Again, let me just swatch a few. These are all one swipe swatches. Look at that. So pretty and so wearable. I think this is like an all-rounded palette and it would complement any skin tone. Really pretty. Okay, now let's move on to one of my favorite palettes in my collection, but I don't think you can find it anymore, and that is from Dominique Cosmetics, and this is their Latte palette, the original palette. This is definitely my favorite. This just screams Smithy. Like, I love everything that was included in it. Like, this stood like my #1 palette for last year, and for a reason. The mattes are super smooth, super creamy, and super blendable. Oh my god, I cannot. Like, I can drool over this palette. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Like, what is not to like about this palette? Look at the tones. She included like 3 pop of colors, pop of shades in this palette, and I would say so well thought out shades. Like, these 3 can take to all different directions and it can give so many plethora of looks for you guys. Absolutely beautiful, and I don't think you can find this anymore. I really hope that she revamps the packaging and she just gets it back, because it's a first palette. I mean, and it could not have gotten better than this. Like, I love this palette. Okay, now talking about the last eyeshadow palette that I want to talk about. Again, this is a colorful eyeshadow palette, pretty recent in my collection, but if you're looking for multi-chrome shades, and if you are a green lover, not like me, even if you're not a green lover, I fell in love with this palette. And I'm talking about Sugar Drizzle's MILF palette. Look at the artwork, so cute. And the palette inside, I would say, is even more beautiful. I definitely have some leaking here. That's only because of these eyeshadows. I think it has a little more of like the mixing medium in it. That's why it has that leak. But the shadows are so beautiful. Again, I did a dedicated video using this palette. I did 2 looks using this palette, and everything is beautiful. If you are new to multi-chromes, duochromes, anything like indie makeup, I would say try this, because this has some beautiful tones. I love the black base multi-chromes Hop Along and MILF from this palette for sure. I love Fly Swatter. I love Pond. This is absolutely beautiful. Like this bronzy purpley tone, this tadpole shade is like a blue to a purple shifting shade. This camouflage shade, which looks like white, it shifts to pink, blue, purple, green. It's a multi-chrome, like an iridescent multi-chrome. You need to have this if you are starting in multi-chromes. And the price point is absolutely fabulous. Absolutely in love with this palette, and I would highly recommend this. Let me show a few swatches and you'll know what is this all about. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. I really hope that you can see that shift. It's stunning. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Absolute gorgeousness. Absolute gorgeousness. Love it. You need it absolutely in your life. Do not even doubt twice. If you are into indie makeup, if you like sparkly, shifty eyeshadows, you absolutely need to try Sugar Drizzle and It's Belle Cosmetics. Those would be my top 2 indie brands if you want to dive into duochromes and multichromes for sure. And if you want some, like, I would say neutral but elevated look, try Glam Light, especially the chocolate martini palette. You would love it. Absolutely love it. Let me know in the comment section below which is your favorite summer palette in your collection. And if I did not mention, definitely let me know in the comment section below so that I can check it out for myself. But yes, that is all for today, guys. And those were my top palettes for summer season. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.